name is Clay Clark, and I'm the CEO of Thrive15.com. Today we are joined with Deidre Detterman, and we're going to be teaching you the 10 concepts you need to know before you can grow. As you're watching today's episode, I guarantee you that you're going to have a series of epiphanies and aha moments as you learn some very, very specific success principles that are going to help you just learn what you need to know to grow. Remember, at Thrive15.com, we believe that knowledge without application is meaningless. So as you're watching today's episode, make sure that you ask yourself, what can you uniquely do to apply these success principles in your own life and business? Otherwise, today's episode may just turn out to be more meaningless than a price tag at a 99-cent store. All right, Deidre, how are you?
Good.
Hey, we are joined today by Mickey Mouse here. He'll be a visual aid, and in this book written by Conrad Hilton called Be My Guest, about how Conrad Hilton built the Hilton Hotel Empire. It'll all make sense in a little bit. It's just there for building some suspense right now. And those of you who don't know, Deidre is a PR guru. She's a marketing, you've been kind of someone who's went from a mom to the mompreneur.
Yeah.
Started a marketing company.
Yes.
And I just appreciate your time being here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So what we're talking about is the story behind the story, how some of America's most successful entrepreneurs got from where they were to where they wanted to be. I think right now as you're watching this, I know I did this, we might not be aware of the hell and the tough situations that some people went through to get where they are. So I'm going to read this to you. Have you ever taken the time to think about your own biases and your own core beliefs, if what we think about these people who became successful is actually true? Or have we ever just taken the time to take all those biases aside and really get into it and figure out how did these people become successful? Because as a culture, what we hear all the time is what? The rich get richer.
Right.
I think what are the other ones? The rich get richer. You say, well, the poor get poorer, the rich get richer. It takes money to make money. Luck. They're all lucky. I've heard people say, well, if I had that much money, I would. Must be nice. There's all that stuff. So we're going to get into some people that it would be nice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you. We're going to go over Abraham Lincoln, Henry Ford, Walt Disney, the Heinz family, George Foreman, Donald Trump, Steve Martin, Conrad Hilton, and Ryan Tedder. All right? Okay. So when you hear these names, what comes to your mind? Wealth, power, success. I mean, when I say Disney, what comes to your mind? I mean, awesomeness?
Yeah, awesome.
The mouse?
Empire.
Hilton Hotel. What, Paris Hilton gallivanting around the world spending money?
Yeah.
Ryan Tedder, I'm thinking of One Republic and songwriting and music, but they all have a story. So let's get into Abraham Lincoln. This guy battled depression his whole life. He went into bankruptcy and lost it all at one point. This guy became a lawyer without formal training. Self-taught lawyer? Yeah. What? This guy's fiance died. His fiance died. Think of how that would feel. This guy lost more elections than he won. At one point, this man had such conviction in his belief, he decided that slaves should be freed when over 50% of America disagreed with him. I don't care what political side you're on here. Let's just pretend right now that President Obama says, I'm going to move forward with this. As a country, Fox News and CNN are like, 55% of people don't want it.
Right.
Well over half the world didn't want to end slavery. But he's like, I'm going to do this thing. This man knew that his decision to free the slaves would cause America to plunge into a civil war. This man experienced so many setbacks, he had no choice but to begin viewing each setback as a stepping stone to get him from where he was to where he wanted to be. That's Abraham Lincoln. So when it comes to overcoming failure and rejection, you have built a successful company, you sold it, you're doing your own thing now. How have you been able to battle through, or what kind of stuff have you had to battle through as far as adversity or anything? What have you dealt with?
Well, I think there's always going to be, adversity when you first start something out because you're going down that road by yourself. And that maybe is one of the hardest things as an entrepreneur, is being alone. You're alone in this, world in the beginning. So yeah, stress. I mean, starting my company and going out, from working in the corporate world and making great money to going on my own, no money. And my husband loses his job right about the same time, and we're building a house. And, so lots of things I think come into play as you're...
I would like to ask you this, if you're watching this right now. I mean, I'm just kind of circling a few things here that fiance. If you've ever lost a loved one, that's terrible. Mm-hmm. Mom, dad, fiance, brother, everybody is somebody's son or sister or brother, mother. And there's somebody. Everyone matters. That's terrible. But I know a lot of people I meet today who somebody died 25 years ago and they're still unable to get over it because they say, well, my wife died.
Right.
And I'm telling you, if that's you got to pick yourself up. Mm-hmm. It's not easy. I had one of my best friends die in college. We knew each other since we were allegedly in the cribs together at church. We were roommates, college. He died. That's terrible. It feels bad. Mm-hmm. But Abraham Lincoln, if he would have just stopped right there, we wouldn't have had the freedom we enjoy today. The guy lost more elections than he won.
So all this is news to me. So
and every time I read it, I'm like, what? If you guys get a chance to just Google this mess or watch some more Thrive episodes on this, it's amazing. If you want to feel good about your life, read Abraham Lincoln's life. That guy was going through such depression. He actually at one point, and I'm paraphrasing, but he basically made the statement, if I decide to free the slaves, more white people will have to die than the number of people we will free. I mean, and imagine that sort of wrestling with that, and then you cut a line across America. We forget it wasn't too far ago, too far long ago. Mm-hmm. You're saying families are ripped apart, and now brothers and sisters are fighting each other in a civil war. Yeah. And the guy already had depression. That's craziness. I mean, I can't tell you the kind of struggles he went through, and then to be a lawyer and to have not had formal education,
self-taught. Yeah.
What? I mean, so no matter what you're dealing with right now, we have nothing to complain about. Mm-hmm.